Okay, thank you. My name is Anna Kiladze. I'm from Tbilisi, Georgia, and studying Georgian Technical University on physics engineering. And also I make some three-dimensional and four-dimensional geometrical forms. And today I will present some of them, which might be connected to STEAM education. I will share my screen now. Do you see? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's begin. How could geometrical artworks be connected to STEAM education using technology? These three-dimensional and four-dimensional artworks which I create might have an aesthetical aspects also. They could be usable in STEAM research and architecture. And I hope you will enjoy this presentation. My first work is a three-dimensional architectural pattern. And there is some geometrical figures together in this construction. They are pentagons, octagons, and triangles. You can see them. And these constructions' angles are connected with each other by perspective lines with regularity and create these architectural constructions. And the main construction in this drawing is icosahedron in the center. These 12-sided constructions are made on these icosahedron sides and along of its sides and also angles. Here I have process of this work. I have the presented process of this work. You can see triangles, also pentagons, octagons. Their angles connected with each other, and finally receive this construction, this architectural model. So this picture, I have presented icosahedron in the center and also tesseract, four-dimensional cube. Inside of this tesseract are presented also hexagon, other geometrical simple forms such as hexagons, also 12-sided polygons, and another tesseract in it. My next work is my recently drawing, three-dimensional construction. Here we have used octagons. Also, main subject of this drawing is cube. If you can see it, it's there. And these cubes up and down sides, on these cubes up and down sides are presented octagons, and octagons angles are connected also perspective lines. And finally receiving this shape, architectural construction. And of this, in the center of this drawing, also next picture, here we have it. We have tesseracts, received tesseracts. And inside of these tesseracts are also made 12-sided polygon. Also inside of it we have dodecahedron and another tesseract inside of dodecahedron. Next picture, which is shown here, is octagonal model made by 16-sided polygon and octagonal construction. And there we have icosahedron in the center, 3D model of icosahedron. Here I have one of my work named perspective dodecahedron. And I want to show you how to connect drawings to STEAM through kinetics. On figure 1, we split pentagons each side by 16 sections. And on figure second figure, connect with these sides, 16 sections with each other. And then also we connect pentagon sides 16 divided parts. And finally, we receive this model, which is side of perspective dodecahedron, and we can see how these shapes are deep by creating other little pentagons in it. So what I want to say by this presentation is that how could be this drawing connected to to STEAM education with kinetic and also three-dimensional movable construction. For example, so we can use these constructions with architectural facets. You can see that here there are many examples of architectural models. And some kind of these constructions are able to reflect human movement. And in the future, I want to create a 3D model of these constructions in order to
갈게요. 이럴래 볼게요.
You can see picture? Okay. And my main pure purpose is that I want to create three-dimensional real constructions, for example, by aluminum, in order to connect these drawings technologically with STEAM education. And also create three-dimensional movable constructions by them. Here I have presented some moving architecture, which I find on internet. For example, Mercedes-Benz Stadium with movable facade. And here, what I have is perspective dodecahedron, what I recently show in the slides. Also 3D models, octagonal prism. These prisms are presented with cardioids, and cardioid angles are connected to perspective lines. And also, my main purpose was to connect these drawings to STEAM education through kinetics technologically.
3 minutes.
And I hope you enjoy my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah. So, Kara, you want to take? Yeah.
No, I just wanted to ask if there are any questions to Anna. Maybe Anna, you can stop sharing your screen so that we all see each other. So are there any questions to the presentation by Anna? Very interesting presentation on octagons.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you are a master or PhD student?
Physics. I am a physics engineering student, and also make these geometrical constructions.
Very
And
congratulations.
I am interested with STEAM research and learning, and hope it will be usable for it in education. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Anna. So, Oimai, can you proceed to the next presenter?
Okay. So the next presenter is yourself, Kara. Is the you're the second presenter. Yeah. Maybe you want to introduce yourself. Yeah.
So my name is Carla Pinto. I'm a coordinate professor of the School of Engineering of the Polytechnic of Porto. And I've been the coordinator of an Erasmus Plus project on development of novel methodologies to teach math to engineers, to future engineers. And so I can maybe start sharing my screen. Where is it? Here. And can you see it? Not yet. Can you see it now? No? Ah, okay. It was frozen a little bit, the image, but now I think it's working. Okay, so slideshow from the beginning. And I'm also a researcher at the Center for Mathematics of the University of Porto. And since March last year, we, as everyone else in the area of education, suffered major drawbacks with the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we all had to go to teach online, to this emergency remote teaching. And so we decided to ask students their perceptions on this type of study and do this in different courses, different bachelor degrees, namely informatics degrees, biomedical, so that we could figure out if there was any differences in their responses, in their perceptions regarding the digital skills that they had. Informatics degree students have better skills, of course, than the other students. So, as you know, we live in the Generation Z epoch. So these students want to be more active in their learning process. It's known that, or some surveys say that 78% of students and 77% of teachers believe that that Generation Z learns best by creating and hands-on experiences. And so it's our, sorry for this, it's our role as teachers to help these students to achieve success. So by motivating them, to achieve their goals, by promoting good attitudes and creativity. And so what are exactly the digital skills, or what is understood by digital skills? So critical thinking evaluation, critical thinking evaluation, practical and functional skills, creativity, proficient communication, curate information, collaboration, cultural and social understanding, and e-safety, which is also extremely important, as we all know, and sometimes even companies have these issues on e-safety, and due to these very hard-working hackers who manage to get through security, through their protection. So the benefits, among the benefits of digital skills, are student engagement, academic performance, and it helps students in their future job, in the future job market. So, as we all know, since December 2019, and then the outbreak was more or less in February or so, we were struck and disrupted by this COVID-19 pandemic, and we can see it as not only as a challenge, but as an opportunity to do better, to improve our means, our ways to engage our students, to provide them with the learning process, the learning framework that they need. And so issues like online assessment, online classes, teamwork online, etc., came to the front, right? Because that's all we had, right? In 1 week, more or less, we had to shift to a fully online environment without a priori experience for some, for both for students and teachers. And so everything came to the front, and we had to suddenly adapt and prepare everything to this new scenario. What type of teaching did these students prefer? What is this emergency remote teaching? It's not online teaching. It's completely different, because online teaching requires planning, requires time to address all of the syllabus and think how specific topics can and should be addressed in an online format. what is our role as educators, and how can we help the students, and the importance of the digital skills for these students. So a lot of questions came out. And so we decided to ask the students about their learning preferences. And as you can see, most of them said they would like a hybrid approach, in the sense they would like blended learning. This blended learning, they were more specific. They said the lectures, the theoretical classes should be or could be online, but all of the other classes, practical and laboratorial classes, they prefer classes in face-to-face. None of the girls wanted fully online, and only 7% of the male students said that they would prefer a fully online regime. So the students, they like to be there, they like the social engagement with the students, with the teacher, they like to be at school. Figuring this out, right? One wouldn't think that they would like so much to be at school, but yes, they do like to be there with us. And so a lot of questions and the words, because there was one or two open questions in which we asked them to say, to be more specific about what they wanted and what they felt about this online learning. And, sorry, Oi?
3 minutes, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll move forward. So, and they said that the online learning was less motivated. They had questions regarding assessment. They felt it was not as truthful as if they were face-to-face there doing the exams and so on. They also focus on the lack of concentration. They said they didn't like it. They said it was more time consuming and they didn't learn that much as if they were in class. They said also, as the good points, is that they didn't have to spend time going to university, and the versatility. So, and they could stay at home in the comfort of their home, etc. But everything else were negative adjectives for the online learning. And so this is just some other questions regarding online items. I think we can move forward. So the red and the dark red have to do with disagree, and the blue and light blue have to do with agree. And so they do like to continue to work in teams, and you can do that using the breakout rooms in Zoom. So they felt fine with it, comfortable with it, but they didn't like much to be away from the colleagues, away from the teachers. They felt like they didn't have opportunity to discuss all of the questions during class. And they like synchronous classes. They don't like to just, for instance, in lectures, watch a video and then after some time ask the questions to the teachers. They like synchronous classes. So as we know, student satisfaction is highly dependent on a lot of factors. Themselves, we as educators, the environment, and so on. And this COVID-19 brought a big disruption, but we can see this as an opportunity to grow. And so reflecting on this learning experience during COVID will help us to think education as flexible, resilient, and imaginative to cope with future frauds with uncertainty that we will have. And so investment in knowledge pays the best interest. We know it. Already Benjamin Franklin knew it. And let me just invite you all to this conference workshop in Oporto. I think some of you will be there, some of you, Schultz, PhD students and so on. It will be on July the 5th. We will have an excellent panel of the invited speakers and a roundtable exactly on these topics. How well are higher education institutions training students to handle the VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex. And this is my presentation. I hope, sorry for being this fast, but time goes by very fast when you talk about things that you really enjoy. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kara. All right, I think Marcelo has a question about what are these students?
Oh, it were students from these ones from the Bachelor in Informatics Engineering here at the School of Engineering where I teach. This is the meeting. And these were the students from the second semester, so 1920. Yeah, from my school of engineering. The math course was computational mathematics, this one. And they were students from the bachelor degree of informatics, these ones.
Okay, anyone has a question for Clara? Maybe I have a question. So after finding out all the, I mean, what the students had said, so what are the tweaks that you're going to do for the next semester? Are you, I mean, looking at the blended, they prefer the blended learning. So how do you?
Yeah, we are doing exactly that, blended learning. So in my school, all lectures are online, and the practical and laboratorial classes are face-to-face. And so the students like this because they managed to be there in some days. So the students are splitted, the courses and the classes are splitted. And they go, for instance, in some courses, they go each 2 weeks there. And in other courses, smaller ones, they go every week there. And so it's how do you say, the framework decided by the school, and it's perfect for them and for us too. I think there are some questions and remarks. Yeah. Thanks, Pia, but I think there was one question before from Musa. Who's to blame for students' feelings on online learning? How do you think students' culture influence these findings? I think if the students are not, used to online tools, to digital schools, in fact, to laptops, to cell phones, and to do a lot of things with these tools, which I believe they are. This is the Generation Z, so most of them are used with the technology since very early ages. If they're not, then it was harder on them. But I think the main issue with online is that they can have problems with wireless. They, they can be in regions in which or they themselves cannot handle the problems. Even if they have wireless, they don't have computers good enough to be able to provide the good online quality, because they cannot hear the wireless is talking every time. So there are a lot of issues, and this is why the fully online environment, it was really very demanding, and it was really unfair for some students. And I think, and also one thing, and this depends on us teachers, we have to motivate them. We have to maybe even how do you say, even interact more with them in these online classes. Because if you just put a video, at least this is my opinion, if you just put a video there and leave they with the video playing half an hour or so without posing any questions in between, without pausing the video and so on, you lose them. At least this is my opinion. So I like synchronous classes. I like to engage them. I like to stop and do these questions and exercises that I ask them, small problems that I ask them to solve. And so let's say I like to stop by, even if they are in the breakout rooms. I like to go there and move around from breakout room to breakout room to check, let's say, if they are really there and if they are really solving the problems. But I think most of the problems were about physical conditions, you know, lack of good internet, lack of a good laptop, and so on. So, and of course, from the psychological point of view, it was being far away from their colleagues, far away from school. They felt so confined, really, even psychologically. So I don't know if I replied to your question.
Well, maybe if I can comment on. First of all, congratulations for that's a very nice presentation and a very nice project. I have to declare the interest that I have also been doing some things concerned the online, especially after COVID emergence. You see, one of the things that I think is very important in this when it comes to online is that there is a question that researchers are asking, like, this has come so abruptly. So teachers, when they go online, there is also a probability that they are going online with the traditional strategies. So actually, if you go online with the traditional strategies, that cannot work. And actually it's going to be very difficult for learners. Unfortunately, when we make judgment about these learners, sometimes we find that it's like we are blaming them that they are not coping up with what is coming. While in actual sense, as educators also, we are attributing to what they are feeling about.
Yeah, we should innovate, of course. Yes, and you cannot expose them to the same materials that you have face to face. You have. That's why I said you have emergency remote teaching. It's not online teaching, so you have to adapt. But let me just say this: is that teachers that weren't used to online teaching, you know, also had a very rough time because that's, you know, because it's different to be there face to face and to write on the blackboard or on the whiteboard or whatever, and then having to abruptly, it was really abruptly change 180 degrees, you know, so I think it was really an opportunity for all of us, teachers, students, stakeholders, and so on, to think about education and to think about how we can contribute to a better environment, educational environment. So it was a good thing.
Sure. I mentioned the point of culture of learners. You know, it's also very important because sometimes if you tell me to learn through laptop, perhaps I don't believe if a laptop is a learning tool. So it's also important to change the thinking for them. Sometimes they personalize their devices. So when you are sharing some, let's say, learning material through mobile phones or other gadgets, for which from themselves, they don't believe it's a learning tool, is also a challenge. So that's why I was mentioning the point of culture, that did you consider perhaps how their culture was influential, apart from their technological skills? What about their culture? What do they believe about education, plus the tools for education? Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we should, let me see if there are any other questions. Well, there's a question to Musa from Vincent, staff Vincent Lu. Maybe you can share in the chat your reply, since we really must move on, right, Omay?
Yes. Okay, so I'm the next speaker, so I will share my screen now. Yeah.
Exactly you. So, Omay, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Or if you want, I can do it.
Yeah, I can introduce myself. Thank you. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, hi everyone. Okay, I'm May. I'm a first year PhD student at JKU. So I'm actually in Singapore. So I'm doing a distance learning with JKU. All right, I'm fascinated by how the group actually bring about using GeoGebra in the world. So I am in a School of the Arts, meaning that my students are actually taking their maths, science subjects, as well as their art form, which can be dance, theater, film, literary writing, or theater, or music. So we are judging. Some of them are very good in math, but some of them are that they are very weak in their mathematics. They're good in the dance, but they are not so motivated. So along the way, we have been trying to introduce mathematics is to that they can see that math and art is actually can be integrated, that they are not as learning as a silo subject. So that's why it motivate me to do some arts integration tasks. So I'll be presenting you my initial PhD interest. Okay, it's still molding. Okay, and I'll be testing out with a pilot study next term. Okay, so so my interest is actually designing a math learning task that makes connection with the arts. So I actually come up with 2 tasks already. So I'm going to try out next term. Okay, so I'm looking at what to what extent this task will make an impact on the student understanding, their engagement, and their mathematical beliefs. Okay, so well, designing the task for the first task that I'm showing you today, the first one is actually it's about music. So in music, we talk about sound waves as well. So in math, we talk about sine curves. So we are looking at what are the math concepts and also the relevant music elements and concepts that's inside the task. And then we are trying to sieve out what is it all about. And then by then, when we are talking about all this, we decided we is actually me and my music teacher. Okay, so we collaborated. Okay, thinking through. Okay, so in math we learn sine wave because we want to see the mathematical relationship. Okay, how we analyze the curve, etc. The amplitude, what does it mean? And then it comes to the music part. It is actually about the sound wave, the intensity, okay, etc. So looking at 2 tasks. One task is about chords and about the noise cancellation. Okay, actually, how is it being used? Okay, the other task is about chords, consonants, and dissonance in relationship to sound wave. So maybe the music elements that we are looking at is like dynamics, the forte, piano. So what is the loudness of and quiet of the sound? And then we're looking at the melody, the pitch, okay, and also the harmony, the chords. So what does it actually mean is that I'm actually looking at the inquiry-based approach where students actually, I'm not asking them to use a GeoGebra applet. I'm asking them to create from start, from the beginning. So they enter the function, they make the applet themselves. So I bring them through, okay, the applets making. So these are my students. My students are from 15 to 17 years old. So I will be actually interviewing them. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, that I'm at the beginning stage. So I'm conducting the study in the next semester. Okay, so in this task, I'm trying to look at the concept of math, where they are looking at how this transformation of curves enables them to actually form some analytical relationship. And in terms of, we are looking at the music aspect. We are looking at the elements. What are the elements? As I said, is about harmony, pitch, melody. So, okay, so this task is about looking at the notes. Okay, so we have the note scale here. So what does a note A4 means? So we are telling them that it's actually we have a frequency of 440 hertz. And then in the sine curve, what does it mean? So it's 440 times 2.x. So in the note C, what does it mean? Okay, so I actually use this. We actually bring them through. I will be doing them through about the geometric progression. Okay, as well. So that's the mathematics part. Okay, and then how about the intensity of the sound wave? You'll be looking at the varying the amplitude of the sine curve. Okay, so the students actually will be going through this. I have done the study with my teachers first, using my teachers, okay, my fellow colleagues. So they'll be also teaching alongside with me. So they actually went through the worksheet with me, giving me ideas, and then so the students will go through all this. So I'm not creating an applet for them to play. I'm asking them to make the applet themselves. So I'm giving them instructions on how to actually use the GeoGebra command. So there's a play sound command in GeoGebra, which is very helpful. So later on, I will show you the example. So this is how it looks like. So this is the product that the students will get it, okay, after they go through all the steps that I asked them to do. So the idea is that they make this, the function, and then they actually play the sound to see how does the changing of the curve, the amplitude, okay, react. And then when you play the sound, they actually can hear it. Okay, so I also will be, they have to do a reflection task, okay, because I'm going to, that is the basic. The basic is to make this play sound note, but after that, they're supposed to have to go through the two tasks, which one of them is sound cancellation. So they are supposed to reflect about when the two sounds are being cancelled, what are the effects of the two sine waves, and the other task is about creating harmony. So how do they create the chords with more than one note? They can do two notes, three notes. So they're looking at two notes, maybe they're looking at perfect fifth, and then for consonants, dissonance is about tritones. So we'll be teaching them, my music teachers will be coming out with another video to actually teach them about what does it mean in terms of the music elements. All right, so it is a collaboration so that we are trying to make it as a balance. And then we always see STEAM education, we creating something, music or whatever, but we are looking at the technicalities of the music, not the making that sound nice or composing any music, but we are looking at the technicalities. What does it mean, okay, in math and the music's a sound wave. Okay, so let me play sound. Okay, I'm not sure whether you can hear it or not. So this is actually consonants. Okay, you can see that the waveforms are the regular patterns. And when this is dissonance, it's actually of different waveform. That's why it causes that kind of confusion sound, that it doesn't sound nice. So we are asking them to look at the mathematical aspect. Okay, when they create all this, okay, they play around the sliders, and then they are supposed to come up with their own understanding. So they can, after that, they can add the third note, the fourth note, and etc. So we are asking them to create the first note first. That's the basic. After that, they're supposed to come up with more and more so that they can make sense that how when all the sounds come together, how does this sound like? And when how this sounds like this, okay, the harmony, is it is in harmony or is it not in harmony? So in the sine curve, what does it look like? So they're supposed to look at the patterns of the sine curve. Yeah. Oops, sorry. So this is my reference. Okay, so thank you. Also, I'll be sharing this slide. So if you want to do it, you can actually go into the GeoGebra website to actually find this. And this is just the basic template. So, okay, let me show you another one. Okay. this one. Okay, so I actually tried out with my teachers, okay, and they actually try it out and it's quite successful. So after that, I gained confidence that actually the instruction sheets are clear, that they actually can see, they make the sound. This is noise cancellation. So they can, they actually went through all the process of building up the sliders themselves and the functions. Yeah. So I'll be using Geometrical Classroom to actually monitor them, okay, and how do they actually perform so that I can guide them. Whoever is falling out of the group, I can actually see. Yeah. Thank you.
Omeg, can I have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, first of all, I really appreciate your work, and I'm very glad that you are working on STEAM project involved in music, just like me. So it's a very good thing. My question is that is this GeoGebra stuff capable of playing more than one sine waves, or so you mentioned harmony, and how can the frequency be multiplied? So is this software capable of playing more than one sine waves?
Yes, together as one note. That's mean it's actually G function plus a H function. So you can add on so that they can hear the sound all at one go. But they cannot play, this capability has not gone into making music yet. Yeah, they cannot say, yeah. So I'm waiting for it to have expand the capabilities. Yeah, I can only make them sound for 15 minutes or 15 seconds and etc. But if we can add together to so the add more sign functions, so they can play more than 2 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, etc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's very good, thank you. And I'm also developing an application dealing with something very similar, and my app is capable of playing a lot of waves at the same time, and it's a bit in musical context, not as physical, but rather digital audio workstation. So I think in the future we should collaborate because we have the same topic.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Vincent, do you have anything to say? I saw that you have made some.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
I was
Vincent.
thinking, more perhaps besides just the music, for those people who are like more in motion, right? The dancers who maybe depend more on the rhythm and the motion and movement, right?
Yeah.
So I remember this one of these very great designers, GeoGebra, I think Daniel Mantrat. So
Yeah.
he actually in the past, right, he did quite a lot of interesting stuff. So I was trying to recover this thing called dancers, and there are actually 2 motion videos. He used the stick man, right, to produce motion and synchronize with music. So I was thinking like maybe the students can just do something simple, but just to get motion. So in motion, right, they can consider, I mean, straight line motion, they get, transformation. So there's opportunity for waves, like even a sine wave, right? Instead of thinking about just the sound, you can think in terms of the translation of the motion in only a vertical plane. So it produces harmonic motions, right? So so I think in dance also there are situations where you non-linear motion, right? But they do it in a certain way. Yeah. So there's very rich. It's very rich.
Yeah.
So they can actually use functions to do motions that appear, I think you know what I mean. Maybe
yes.
I cannot say further. Yeah. So,
thank you. I think your idea is quite good. So to link it up to others form like the dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I can add on one more element, that's rhythm. Yeah. So we have within our school, we actually talk about cross collaboration between. So we have a lot of elements that are similar from the dance, the music. So actually we are blending them together. So it might be also good to actually come into play is the rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the point of the motion, because there are certain actions that a dancer does, right, which is like, it looks simple, but it's really quite non-linear in terms of the force, right, that they deliver, and then the time when they, like, you know, pull back and all this. So if you model it, right, then I mean the students can understand how their motion takes place. Then they realize how much force they're putting on their certain parts of their body or whatever, or how to create that kind of motion, non-linear motion, right? You appear to move very slow, then after that suddenly fast, but when you reach the maximum stretch or the maximum, you actually kind of like got to slow down, and then after that you pull back. You know, those kind of things. Yeah, they can indirectly realize that, you know, it's not straight line, and then they appreciate their own bodies also, in the sense that, wow, I didn't know I was doing something pretty complex, you know, and then it's linked by mathematics if they can model it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm just thinking only. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks.
So okay, we are running out of time. So is Monica around? The next speaker is Monica.
I think she's not here. Maybe we should ask the following speaker. Is Leandro Araujo here? No. So I don't know, maybe wait a few more minutes. Maybe we can see if she's in another, wait a minute. In another breakout room.
Leandro is in the main room. So maybe we ask.
The main room is Leandro, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Already included.
Maybe I can go to the main room and send here.
I already did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So it should be Lorenzo? No. It's Leandro. I asked him to join. No. Oh, there he is again. Okay. It says not joined. Yeah. Oh, now he is here. Hi, Leandro. Hello, Leandro.
Hi, hello. I'm sorry. I think that my room is 5. My session 5.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
this session 5. Room 1 is session 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, because Monica, our next speaker, is not here, so Yolando, do you want to go first? Are you ready?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm ready. I will presentation in here, okay?
Yeah.
And this session, yes.
Yeah. Yes. This is the session. Yeah. So, Leonardo, you would like to introduce yourself, and maybe you can share your screen. Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. You can see my presentation.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So you have 10 minutes for your presentations. When it's left 3 minutes, I'll give you a prompt. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Leandro. I'm from Brazil. I'm so nervous, I'm sorry. I am a math teacher. I am a mathematics teacher. I am a master's degree student in mathematics education. I work in this project. I am one of the members of this project. The name of this project is Quebra-Cabeças de Matemática. It means math puzzles.
Hello everyone, my name is Lorenzo. I'm from Brazil. I am a high school student and programmer, and I'm the newest member from this project. So we are developing this project in UFMG, the Federal University of Minas Gerais, Brazil. That's our team, 7 people: Anura, Nora, Tassiane, Bianca, Carmen, Leandro, and me, Lorenzo. So we try to take math in a fun way to schools and children, and we have a website with many mathematical challenges to be used with students from 8 to 12 years old.
We have more than 150 challenges published on the website. Our challenges were used in some schools in Math First, version made by me students. These versions will be developed in 2018 and 2019 for my students for Math First in my school. In school I went to work. Due to the pandemic, we started to develop in GeoGebra some interactive versions, applets for challenges to be used in remote lessons.
Here we have one of these challenges. It's called Colors and Shapes. And the objective of this challenge is to distribute the 9 pieces on the board so that none of the horizontal or vertical rows have any pieces of the same color or shape. So here we have 3 shapes: a triangle, a circle, and a square, and 3 colors: orange, green, and blue. Here we have one example of what would be a correct horizontal line. This is correct because there is no repetition of color. There's the green, the blue, and the orange in the same line, and no repetition of shape, the triangle, the circle, and the square. So in our applets, we always try to make a congratulations message when someone finished the challenge. So here in the red rectangle, we have the variables orange, blue, and green, and each variable has another variable: triangle, square, and circle. After that, we have a function to check color that will compare if we have the same color in the same line. After that, we just need to call check color orange is different from false, and check color blue different from false, and check color green is different from false.
Other puzzle is honey in the hive. Other example. The hive is formed by hexagons that may or may not contain honey. The number displayed in each hexagon tells you the number of neighbor hexagons, those that touch it, that contain honey. Click on the hexagons to change their color. Leave the orange color for those with honey and the gray color for those that do not. For example, the number 3 in the highlighted hexagons indicates that 3 of your neighbors have honey.
Sorry, I lost my group.
Sorry about the technical
Sorry,
problem.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh my God.
So sorry. So
I'm
sorry.
back. I'm back.
Yeah. Oh dear.
We can go back to the breakout session.
I will try share again.
Okay. So sorry.
Okay, we go back.
Okay.
You can see again?
Yes. So sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
Why?
I will repeat. For example, the number 3.
Sorry, I think you have to go back. You have to stop sharing, go back to your room, and then share again.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will share it again.
So wait, please. We have to open the breakout rooms again first.
Yes. Who is going to open the breakout rooms?
Yeah, I will do it.
Hello. Again. So,
Sorry, Rolando. Can you share again? My apologies, my deepest apology.
Okay, I can share it again, this presentation or not.
Yes.
Yes, wait. You can see?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. For example, the number 3 in the highlighted hexagons indicates that 3 of your neighbors have honey. Since he only has 3 neighbors, they all have honey. For example, the number 2 has 3 neighbors, but because the number is 2, 2 of the 3 neighbors have honey. Other example, the number 5. The number 5 has 6 neighbors, but because the number is 4, number 4 is not 5, 4. The number 4 has 6 neighbors, but because the number 4, only 4 of the 6 neighbors have honey. Here is the code of clicking hexagons. The codes highlighted by purple color. We create a counter to change the color of the hexagons. If the counter is odd, the hexagons will be gray. If the counter is even, the hexagons will be orange. The code highlighted by green color. After changing the color of hexagons, a unit is added to the counter. And the code highlighted by orange color hides the message congratulations and there's something wrong if they are visible. And the code, click on the validate button. Conditional command to check which hexagons are gray and which hexagons are orange. And they showing the message congratulations in layer 4, or the message there's something wrong in layer 5. Teachers can use GeoGebra Classroom to present our applets in their remote lessons.
So we divide these challenges in our website in 2 levels. Level 1 for the easiest challenges and level 2 for the hardest ones. Here we show 2 easiest challenges, but these challenges have a hardest version too. Like the colors and shapes have a version with 4 colors and 4 shapes, and the honey in the hive have another version with a bigger hive. We already have 50 of these applets in our GeoGebra profile.
Okay.
So we will send the link of the GeoGebra Classroom to you in the chat.
The link for you try resolving this challenge that we present, for example, colors and shapes and honey in the hive. And that's it.
maybe you can stop sharing, Leandro.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. Are there any questions for Leandro or remarks? Well, I found it very interesting that you're using GeoGebra in order to promote students' creativity and motivation in school. So how do you measure the feedback from them? How do you measure the impact that you actually have in the students' learning using these strategies?
Yes, these puzzles are developing for instigate the students for resolving this math challenge. The students loves.
Yes, sure. Anne-Coque wants to ask one question. Sure, please do.
Hello, thank you for presentation from Leandro. Your topic so interested. I'm so interested about your topic. I want to ask something about it. How, because I think that how to make the topic is fun learning. Maybe this one can be going right. So I'm curious about your curriculum in your country. That your topic are related to your curriculum, or how about the curriculum and your topic are connected, or this is just fun learning, or include to your curriculum in school, your
Yes.
Brazil, right?
Brazilian. Yes. We try developing math puzzles by using in schools by teachers. Some puzzles are developed with I am sorry, my English is not advanced. Some puzzles, yes, curriculum, yes. Other puzzles, no. Some puzzles is for math first, for example. It's not for curriculum, it's math first. And thoroughly puzzles can be used in schools for teachers.
Okay, so this is the first step to teach your student like that, the first step, or the main step.
Yes, please, Diego, you can contribute. Diego, please.
Yes, Diego, please.
Just to give a hand to Leandro and Lorenzo that I love the work. They are doing really, really well. And they had a really nice presentation. So first of all, congratulations to them. But just to...
Diego?
Support them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can't hear you very well. Diego, there's some problems with your network.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some problems. We couldn't hear you. So can you please repeat? After
can you hear me now?
Yeah, now yes.
Okay. Well, just to give a hand and support them. As Leandro mentioned before, the intention of this project is like extending this interesting for math for the childs who are in the first level in education, 5th and 6th grade. So for sure, some of them are connected to the curriculum, but some of them are just to like make them fun with math and engage them in that process. So they are not properly researchers in math education, or Leandro is getting one now. He's starting his master in math education. So they are starting with this process in analyzing the feedback from using these puzzles. So most of all, they are developing and sharing them a lot in Brazil in this huge program. It's a program for Math Olympiad in Brazil. And regarding the previous question from Carla Pinto, how to measure, so far, I would say the measurement is more numerical. We can follow how many students are following such interactive materials, but not properly how they are. Maybe they are, I don't know, following in some personal experience. So maybe Leandro could say something from this classroom. But for sure, I have seen some of them being used in a strategical sense. So combinatorial and so on. Yesterday, Anura was talking about that. So how they use this backward thinking and so on.
Okay, thank you so much, Diego. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions or remarks? So maybe to proceed, Oi, please.
Warwick, Mr. Warwick.
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. You missed the session earlier. So do you want to present now?
Yes.
Okay. So we have Mr. Warwick. So can maybe you'd like to share your screen and introduce yourself? So we have Mr. Warwick. He is supposed to present in the previous session, but he missed his session. So now we have added on. So if you want to continue to stay in this room, you may, or you will want to go to another room, so can. But Mr. Warwick is talking about developing STEM activities for junior high school students in Indonesia. Yeah, Mr. Warwick.
Yeah. I am not yet able to share my screen.
Okay.
The host has not yet.
Okay.
May I get the access to share my screen?
You have it.
I pressed the share screen button, but the host disabled my sharing.
It's multiple participants it's chosen, so.
I'm not sure. This says notifications. Host disables attendee screen sharing.
Well, I don't know. So wait a minute. I don't know. Try it now.
Yes, I'm doing it now. Still, I got the notifications.
Well, that's strange because can you send your presentation to Omei, for instance, by email right away? Because the other ones could do it, or so I don't know. Multiple who can share the participants.
As well. Okay.
Can you try
I'm
again?
not sure why it happens like this. I'm doing it. I'm like I press over time.
I don't know. So
it is still disabled.
Let me see if I can find Eva. Wait a minute. Eva. Where is she? Eva, there she is. Okay. Let me see if she comes here. Hi, Eva. Sorry, we need your help. So Wahid isn't able to share his screen. I don't know why. It's the first time this happens in this session. Can you help, please, Eva?
Yeah. I had this a few hours ago as well. We gave the presentation to another presenter who was able to share screen. And then we just said next and next. So sometimes, since the latest update of Zoom, this sometimes happens. So this is not no issue that we can solve.
Susanna said, Susan said that ask Warwick to go back to main room first. Then she can assign him the host the rights to share screen. Warwick, can you go back to the main session first? The main.
Okay,
Can you
I'll
exit?
go to the.
Yeah. Then you join back. Yeah.
So somebody who is host can then make co-host. Carla, you're a wizard. I have no idea how you do all this Zoom thing. You know Zoom so well. Excellent.
I don't. I'm, you know, trying to help. That's all.
Brilliant. You saved all of us. Thank you.
No, you are the experts. Wait a minute.
Really, really amazing. Ah, and I hope he's a co-host now, because the
Now I
co-host.
can see my screen.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
See you then later.
thank you
Thanks
very
so
much.
much, Eva.
Thank you so much, Eva. So I'm Wahid Junianto from CMU Kitab in Mathematics Indonesia. And here I would like to present about our small research about developing STEM activities for junior high school students in Indonesia. The researchers are me, myself, Wahid Junianto, and Rusasmita, Umi, and Pastita. As the background, STEM has gained great attention in developing country, especially Indonesia. However, our Ministry of Education has not yet put STEM in our curriculums. And so that it is very hyped in the conference, webinar, workshops. But in Indonesia itself, we are lacking of the resources, research-based STEM activities, unlike in the United States, which has more developed STEM activities. So teachers in Indonesia have to make adjust STEM activities, and they of course face challenges because it is not Indonesians types learning. So we need kind of activities to provide the teachers with research-based STEM activities. Within Indonesian context, of course. So this research aims to develop STEM learning activity for junior high school mathematics students in Indonesia. And we also insert or integrate computational thinking in our activity. So our research questions were how to develop integrative STEM learning material for junior high school mathematics classrooms, and how to integrate STEM into junior high school curriculum in our curriculum, which is 2013 curriculum, and how to integrate computational thinking in mathematics teaching and learning activity with STEM approach. So Indonesia, our curriculum is like a compartment, like silo. So we have some topics or domains in every math topics. And then it is maybe happens, happens in other country as well. It is a compartmentalized approach. And yes, we have like integrative curriculum, which is in primary school. We call it thematic lessons. So we integrate with other subjects. And yes, based on the Stallman, Moore, and Rawlings, integrated multidisciplinary curriculum is recommended because it provided less fragmented and more relevant educational experience for students, as well as encourage student-centered problem solving. And yes, STEM, we have various definitions about STEM, but we have the common things, which is the solve the problems. So that's the heart of STEM, I think. And STEM should go beyond beyond simply combining multiple subjects into one lessons. STEM education should be integrative as well as multidisciplinary. There should not be any boundary between all of the discipline of STEM. And the lessons should demonstrate how the integration of the subject can solve relevant and meaningful real life problems. So in our developing STEM activity, we use a design research approach. So through the cycles, we have the preparations and designs, teaching experiments. Here we have two teaching experiments, and then retrospective analysis. So we develop the researchers, the STEM activities, and then we use the experts validations to improve our design. And then afterward, we tried it out in our workshop first, and then we improve it again. And then if we think it is better, then we try to implement it in our classrooms. In our classroom, we collect some data, and afterwards, in the first implementations, we reflect on it and we improve so that in the next teaching implementations, it would be better. So this is the process of our designs of the STEM activities. So in the STEM activities, we use the EDP, engineering design process, as the main activity in our STEM lessons. And the computational thinking, we have four main component like this to be embedded in our lessons. So here we successfully developed three STEM activities for grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. So for grade 7 is about parachutes, and grade 8 is about RAM, and grade 9 is about earthquake resistant house. So the sampling for this research is purposive sampling. So teachers come to our TPD, and then we observe and evaluate them whether or not they could execute our lessons. So this is the first activity about the parachutes. So the mathematics content is geometry. It's about the area and measurement. So student need to investigate the effect of the area of the canopy of the parachutes, whether or not it will last longer in the air or it will go down fast. And the activity 2 investigate the suspension length of the parachute rope. So the length of the rope, whether or not it affects the landing. And the activity 3, students use the knowledge they acquire from the active 1 and 2 to build the parachutes with the quadrilaterals canopy. So the various quadrilateral they can choose, and they will compare which one is better than the other, or maybe the best. And the challenge is they have an axe that they need to tie it with the parachute. So whether or not the axe will crack or will blown up. And then yes, they 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 collect the data like this about the measure of the canopy, and they got the average size of that. And here the computational thinking is visible there, that the larger the canopy, the longer it lasts in the air. So they could say that by filling this. And the other student also could make some kind of thing like that. The smaller the canopy, and the faster it lands on the ground. So this is from the activity 1. And the activity 2, they could conclude that the longer the suspension rope, the longer it lands. And yeah, and then the length of the suspension rope affects the speed of the landing. So they could answer that kind of questions. And here they compare the different types of the canopy based on this is a square, this is parallelograms, this is a square, this is parallelogram with different measures. So they conclude that the parallelograms, this is interesting, that the parallelogram is the best design they got. And the next activity is about RAM. So this is the access for the disables. So the mathematics is about the gradients here. So investigate the relationship between the gradient of the RAM. So they, because we could not try out with the real wheelchair, so we just use a car toy with the marble as the weight here, whether or not it can move smoothly going up. And the activity 2, yeah, So they got the challenge so that only 11 marbles can move this toy car. So this is the data that they collected about the height and the gradients and the number of the marbles that they use. So they will collect, they will observe the less marbles, and they can conclude as well. This is the patterns from the computational thinking. The bigger the gradients, the RAM is steeper. And this, and then the numbers of the marbles also increases. So something like that. So this is another example of student work. And the next activity is about earthquake-like system building. So about the 3D geometry. So they learn about the geometry figures, and then they observe whether or not those building is resistance toward earthquake or not. They use the technology, this mobile phone. Okay. The mobile phone is installed with the vibrations, so the application that can produce any vibration. So they observe this 3D building will collapse or not. So I'll show you a video. I will skip some. So this is a compound building. So I'll show you the video. This is about the parachutes. So this is they use their school. See. Yes, indeed, we cannot control the situations, the wind, because we tried it in outdoor. Yeah. So the X cracks, the X, yeah, broken. So the X, okay, and this is the third STEM designs about the earthquake resistance buildings. So you will find this video is interesting because their building is really resistant, and they shake the ground by the hands, because maybe this the vibration is too small for this building because it is resistant, and they keep shake the see because with the vibrators it is still it stands still, so they use another force. So this is very interesting. So yeah, that's the STEM activity that we developed through our small research on STEMs. Yeah, so our results to develop STEM activities, research-based evidence is needed to produce reliable STEM activities. We can develop Indonesian STEM activity by mapping out mathematical content in our curriculums. And then some part of computational thinking are feasible, especially the pattern recognitions. So we face the challenge here that that the students we need more times, because students are not used to hands-on activity like this, because maybe they rarely have this kind of activity. So we need more time to execute this activity. And then student understanding about the topic really affects their ability to transfer the knowledge that is discovered during the pre-EDP phase and to the EDP phase. So more time considerations to execute our STEM activities, and more topics should be developed. Thank you. So thank you.
Thank you, Warwick. Yeah. Okay, so we'll be joining back. If you have questions for Warwick, maybe you would like to ask him later. All right, so because we are running a bit late, so let's go back to our main room. and then we'll take a break from there. Okay, see you back
you.
at the main room.
Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you to all invited speakers for these amazing talks, and hope to see you all soon. See you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.